Hi, and welcome to a Friday evening live card making tutorial. This evening, pop-up cards made simple. No engineering degree required. I tell you, a lot of the fancy, I'm trying to think of the cards with the movement, especially in the fancy folds, they're not the easiest for me. Once I figure it out, then I can teach you, which I think it makes me a better teacher because I don't assume you know things. But anyway, this pop-up card, super simple, courtesy of the Pop-Up Petals Bundle. Super excited to show you this. But let me start by introducing myself. I'm Shelly Godby, and for 24 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. So let's have a look at this bundle. So this evening, what I want to do for you, more than concentrating on a card from beginning to end, is showing you how this part works. There we go. All right, so this is the Pop-Up Petals Bundle and online exclusives. And there you go. And so you have, of course, your images and some really nice greetings. You make my life better just by being in it. Thanks for being there. You get me, and I appreciate that. Yeah, anyone who gets me, I do appreciate that. And grateful for your friendship. And then the flowers. And so this is nice. You've got the outline, and if you so desire, you can color it in, or you can do the two-step and just have it done for you. This has for the petals, you need to color, the petals, you need to color leaves and stem. Look at this, the flower. And those you get to, there we go, that will fill in that part in this, the centers, and you'll get to color the leaves, a sweet little butterfly. And then, of course, the dies. So you've got the outline dies for all of the images over here, you know, the vases, the flowers, the butterflies, and then these cool dies that you use for the pop-ups. Really very, very cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like I said, there are two ways to play with this, and these are the parts that make the pop up. And this part just really tickles me. Well, hello, Miss Lauren. Happy New Year, and Miss Danette. Happy New Year. Oh, I'm so glad you all are here. So I told you this is an online exclusives. Okay, so how about I start with and this part tickles me, and I can't wait to show you. It's my friend came over yesterday, and this is her bundle, and we were playing with it. And I said, "What's this for?" And because this can create a box to put things in, and that's the flaps. You know, it's those little details that just tickle me. All right, so let me show you first before I grab my die cutting machine, my Stamp and Cut, because it's easier. I've got my die stored on a magnet card instead of the piece of cardstock with tape that comes on it. And these magnet cards I pick up at, or I should say purchase, I order them from Stampin' Storage. And that sounds like a company, you know, it sounds like a Stampin' Up! Product. It is a separate company. And they have their 5 by 8.5 that fit our new envelopes. And if you're watching January 2nd, if you're watching live or catch me before they change everything on January 3rd, 20% off store wide, or 15% off store wide. Sorry, one of the two, 20, I believe, 20% off store wide through January 2nd. And what I've noticed is if you get in there early on January 3rd, I think someone doesn't come into a little bit later to change the code. All right. And so these are super strong, and they don't fall off, and yet I can get the dies off easily. And then with our new packaging, I just store them right in the envelope that it comes with. So I'm not picking up extra sleeves like I used to. And so when you go over there, the 5 by 8.5, it says right next to it 4SU, meaning Stampin' Up. Okay, so let me grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And here we go. Love this. I hope everyone's having a fabulous new year. I mean, we're not too terribly far in it, but so far so good, huh? All right, so I'll fold this down. All right. And then I need to build what's called a sandwich. And if you'd be so kind, please give my video a thumbs up and a share, and of course, come in and say hello. So you need to build what's called a sandwich. You need to get it thick enough for these thin, in this case, these thin metal dies to die cut. And the sandwich is printed on the platform. Oh, Miss Adelaide is here. Hello and Happy New Year. And so you would use plate number 1 and plate number 2 that come with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, or instead, I use this magnetic platform that we used to carry when we had the Big Shot. We now have the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, but the plates are the same size. So you can pick that up on Amazon. That's the one I picked up. And so it holds the dies in place without needing any other adhesive. And that just helps me be a much better die cutter. Okay, so our cardstock, I have some balmy blue. Whoops, we're not ready for cardstock. We need a cutting plate. There we go, a plate number 3. That comes with the purchase of the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. And then I have some balmy blue cardstock with the score line. That score line is important. And then you can use either one of these depending how big of a box or a pop-up you want. All right, you see these arrows on here? Those are very important. They are going to be lined up with, okay, let me think where I want this one. Each one I'm doing differently. Okay, so you line those up on the crease. Very important, because it will create the crease line for you, but that's where we need it. So everything just goes exactly the way it needs to. All right, and then we finish with another plate number 3. Oh, Miss Patricia's here. Hello. Fantastic. Place it on there. Please don't scoot it on. You think, oh, I'll just, because you'll scoot the die and or the paper. All right, so let's go ahead and crank this through. This just tickles me. I just can't tell you how much this whole thing tickles me. Okay, but I love the cards with the movement. Like I said, I'm just not all that swift. My mom is so mechanically minded, and my goodness, the woman is what kind of gardener? You know what I'm talking about. Well, professional, but that's not it. Master gardener. My house is where plants come to die. This woman can grow anything. All right, so I'm going to show you a trick for the inside. This is the Subtles Designer Series paper, and I want to cut this. I'm going to go off the edge just a tiny little bit, and you'll see why in a bit. And then this for the flaps, that is probably my favorite die in here, because it's those little touches that just are so awesome. Okay, and so then again, we'll place this on here. Okay, and crank that through. Okay, there we go. Let's get this out of our way. So I'm going to show you, like I said, the mechanics of this, and I'll have the finished card for you. So we'll take this off and this. Wow, that's really stuck on there. Where's my take your pick tool when I need it? I was thinking I didn't need it. Wow. No, that didn't happen earlier. Okay, let's put this right back on here. And there we go. Just had to break that suction, I guess. All right, and so these little flaps for the edge of the box that we're about to create. And I thought it was going to be one long one, but it just does both at the same time, which is super convenient. There we go. All right, and then you put your die right back on so you don't lose anything. They've got some little ones. And they gave us 2 butterflies, so you can stamp 2, and cut them out at the same time. That's pretty sweet. That saves some time. Okay. And we will be die cutting again in just a minute when I show you the second card. So here is the pop out. And we'll fold in. And this, there we go. I mean, I know you could do this with your paper trimmer, right? You absolutely could. But you have to stop and think, and then if you don't get it just quite right, this is so easy. There's the pop out. I think that is like, oh, all right, so we want a good fold. So that's where you need your bone folder. Okay, and so my friend and I were playing yesterday, and I had a completely different card for you. And the paper was showing it was in stock yesterday. It was the birthday celebration or wildflower birthday. And I thought, oh, this is so pretty. And it was. And I got up this morning and just had a feeling and checked, and yeah, completely gone. So back to, back to the drawing board. All right, so where I need to trim this, it actually scored it for me, so I can see where to trim that. And let's trim using my Cutter B scissors that are the same size as the paper snips. And then adhere this on. And because of all the movement, I'm going to recommend something super strong. So mini glue dots or this tear and tape is fabulous. All right. Oh, Miss Donna is here. Hello. Happy New Year. Oh, and I got to show you something too. So it's Casual Friday and keeping things nice and simple. There we go. Peel that off into my craft catcher. Love this, keeping everything nice and neat. And so this was the card we did yesterday. This just kept everything really nice. It added a decorative touch because not the whole thing ended up getting covered. Okay, so let's do that and press. There we go. And so now this, we want to get adhesive on both sides of the flap. So I've got my stamp and seal here. It's going to come back in stock someday, I promise. Okay. This is just the slickest thing. Okay, so this, like I said, the finishing touch. And you don't have to use designer paper. It just seemed like a fun thing to do. And look at, that's our box flap. Are you as tickled as I am? All right, let's press that down really well. And this is the inside. We've done that. And so the samples, or the one sample they showed us, it makes sense to me. They did the same color and the same color. I mean, you wouldn't have to, but I like that. So here's what we're going to do. Back again with the tear and tape adhesive. You know, I have just really grown to love this stuff. Before I only used it for, you know, the 3D projects, the boxes and things like that, because I knew it would keep them together. Then I started using it for the embossing folders. And now it's just like, if I need a good strong adhesive, I just love this stuff. So I always press down so it makes the backing easier to peel up. There we go. All right. And so I put this in here, make sure everything's lined up, and we'll do one side. I really don't want to do all four because I need some give, right? So we got this side, adhere that down well. Now we can peel this off. And there we go. We've got the inside of our pop-up card, all the mechanics. And then, you know, from this stamp set, the Pop-Up Petals, I have some, and so put this in, and I put it in with, again, with tear and tape adhesive, because this is getting a lot of movement. All right? So, and then put, you know, the smaller one on first, anything you want in front, adhere that, and then behind it, and let me show you how I finished that card, okay? And so there we go. How adorable is this? But everything folds up. So the short ones, and you know, so I have my 5, grandma, the odd numbers. And then here's the front, just super simple. Into the vase, and I trimmed it off because that was going to be really way too long. I felt in the vase, right? That looks, I mean, maybe, you know, roses kind of do that. So you could either do it like this, leave it nice and long, and there's plenty of room, or I just trimmed it off so it wasn't coming so far out, and use the You Make My Life Better just by being in it. So the DSP, the subtles, and it's the balmy blue carried to the inside and layered on the misty, or balmy blue, and then a piece of misty moonlight. So almost monochromatic other than the green. And that's the mechanics of that. How fun is that? Oh, Miss Jen's enjoying that. Yeah, isn't that fun and so easy? no measuring, just boom, the die does all the work. So, okay, before I show you the next one, and it's super cute, I got to show you something. So my friend that came over, she's, I want to talk about the magnet or these magnet boards. I'm an affiliate for Glassboard Studio, and so she wanted to go, and I said, well, let's go look and see what they have. I wanted her to, where is, I'm trying to find it. I guess I clicked on too many things. Here we go. Okay, so we'll share this. All right, look at this, because they have something new every month. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my goodness, if you've looked at these before, this is so, so pretty. That's the New Year Glam. And then this, I showed her this one too. And she had a real hard time deciding, but ended up, she's, this is really more her, the pinks and the purples. Isn't this beautiful? And so we picked out the pink and purple accessories. Look how they dress that out. Isn't that pretty? So anyway, I just had to show you this new, oh, I am just crazy about this. I didn't see it because I ordered a new one yesterday, because you know what? When you use either, follow in my link, use my QR code that I have for you right here, you save typically 15%, but I earned a 20% discount for you. So you use that QR code, or the link is under the video, 20%. And that is store wide. So that is a lot of fun. But I was so excited to show you that other one. Like, this is so pretty. Okay. So 20% instead of 15 for this quarter. Very, very excited about that. All right. So now let's do, oh, let me come back on my hands, right? There we go. All right. So now let's do another fun one. And because, with that wildflower birthday, they had die cuts in there, because I just wanted to learn the mechanics of it. That was my whole purpose. And I'm like, okay, we can whip something out. And I can show you that card at the end too. Even though the paper is not available anymore, you may have it. So back with our sandwich, magnetic platform, or plate number 1 and plate number 2. All right. Oh, Miss Lauren likes it too. Well, thank you. And a plate number 3. And this time, got some pumpkin pie cardstock, and I'm going to use the same die. Now this time, I'm going in the center, and look, do you see, you can see the crease, right? Pointing right at the crease, place on another plate number 3. Okay. So this one, I'm going to do a landscape card instead of a portrait. And what I mean by that, it's going to open this way instead. So we'll pop this out. And what's nice is, if there's any etching from your plate, it's on that little tab, not the rest of your card. All right, so we'll fold that in and score it so everything can fold very nicely. If you don't have a bone folder, you really need one. There we go. So we've got that fold, and then let's put this back in here. So I'll just review this again. So again, I just feel, and maybe someone else feels differently, but just the 2 sides, I think it would, I didn't even try it. I don't think it would go well if you did all 4, because this is heavy cardstock. Okay. And so while I'm doing this, hey, I want to remind you of the new card retreat that's coming up. And so that card retreat comes with a couple stamp sets, dies, designer paper, I believe a full pack of basic white cardstock, accessories. But when you purchase that, did I say designer paper? When you purchase that, you get automatically enrolled in the card retreat to make 15 cards, and you can see the 15 cards in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com for the card retreat. And but what you don't see are the insides and how fancy dancy they are. They just really went. Oh, I didn't mean to take that apart. Okay. I didn't mean to take that off. See what happens when I get talking? Oh, it worked out. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so we have this. So if I'm going to do a landscape card this time, and so let me show you. And so instead of the box, I'm going to use this for the pop out. And I used the Halloween. I got into the Halloween stuff because like, oh, we still have these die cuts to make something really, really quick. And this paper I used earlier. Now this is all last chance that I'm showing you. So this is the Spooky Sweet Halloween specialty paper. And it was $16.50 and clearanced out for $11.55. And then we have the coordinating spooky Halloween stamp set, clearanced out too. Now they call it last chance. We used to call it clearance. So 19 down to 13.30. And then the dies, they're half. They were 31, only 15.50. And when you see the inside, you're going to say, yep. And so I used the DSP on the outside here. And then it was so much fun playing around. You're going to have so much fun when you get this pop-up, the Pop-Up Petals Bundle, because you can do so much more. And then it's like, oh, how cute is that? And so these are the die cuts, but this is from the half price now, spooky Halloween dies. How cute is this? And that Happy Halloween came from the stamp set. And the Little Witch and the Frankenstein, just adorable as all get out. So how fun. And so there's, here making the box for them to go in or one to support it. And I did use some of the DSP to make that a little bit fancier, to cover it like I did this, but just for, and so just two different ways to use the Pop-Up Petals Bundle. The little box with a flap that just tickles me to no end, or, I mean, who wouldn't just get a tickle out of this? Open this up and like, oh, there we go. So there we go. That is the Pop-Up Petals, or, pop-up cards made easy, no engineering degree required. And I believe these are, I put it in an envelope and it was still thin enough to mail, so that was good. But of course, you will need to score them. So cute, 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 fun, fun, fun. And so you'll be thinking of, oh, here, let me show you the first one that we did real quickly. Oh, and this one before this card real quickly, before I remembered that what I wanted to do was the landscape, so it popped the other way, not a box. How cute is that? And that's the paper, and these die cuts are included in the paper. So a lot of fun. Anyway, and so yesterday, what we did was this. This was that wildflower birthday paper, and then boop. And that's where we started. We felt that looked a little plain, so we decorated it, with another thing of paper. But how cute is that? So this is what started all, just to learn the mechanics of it, because that's important, but hopefully now that I've walked you through it, like, oh, I know what I'm doing and can't wait to play and do something very colorful, and just think of all the other stamps you have it with. Besides this, these are stinking cute though. This Pop-Up Petals Bundle, very nice. And of course, you don't always have to do a pop-up card. You've got these adorable flowers that are quick because it's a two-step. And so there we go. A casual Friday project for you that pops up, which just is so much fun. It is, Ms. Lauren, a very fun bundle. Too stinking cute. And sometimes, we've had stuff before and the images didn't tickle me. I really like these images and the greetings are nice. These are pretty flowers. Okay, so there we have it. And so again, I'll say, if you'd be so kind, please give my video a thumbs up and a share. And I'm just so excited that now, if you're interested in the Glassboard Studios, the magnetic glass mat, that's what's so special about this. It's magnetic. I didn't need to hold anything in place for me tonight. But with those magnets, I feel like I've got that third hand I've always been needing when I'm trying to craft. So there we go. And I think I showed you everything. We've got last chance products available now only while supplies last. Yesterday morning. That wildflower birthday paper was in there. It wasn't in low inventory, and this morning just gone. So you just never know with the last chance products. So if the spooky Halloween stuff, if you hadn't picked that up before, because it is just the cutest stuff ever, you know, don't do the bundle, do the stamp set and the dies, because the dies are half off. If you do the bundle, you're going to pay the full price. They don't discount the bundle; they discount the products individually. So get the stamp set, and I didn't calculate the percentage, but you know it was more than 10%, but half off the dies, and then the designer paper, that was a decent discount on that too, and just so stinking cute. I mean, you'd have enough stuff you could send um, easy, fun pop-up Halloween cards to everyone on your list, all the girlfriends, everybody. So everything that I used is available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com, and the supplies are listed under the video. Other than the Halloween stuff, I listed all the supplies for the Pop-Up Petals card. All of that is listed under the video. You know, I am here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so you can set your clock for that. But whenever else I'll pop in, you never know, because I don't know. And so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're on Facebook or YouTube. I also stream to Instagram and Rumble, and I don't know that they get notifications, but YouTube and uh, Facebook give you a notification when I'm getting ready to go live, and so that'll be the best way. And of course, always come in and say hello because I enjoy chatting with you. And then tomorrow I'll have a link to my blog post with this card that'll have all the measurements and a PDF that you can download. Okay. It's all the measurements, just make it easier than to duplicate. And that PDF will include a picture of it too. You wouldn't want just some measurements and no picture and the card sketch. So as always, I am always so grateful that you'll come spend some of your time with me. And there you go. Always grateful for that. And so again, all the supplies are available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I appreciate you supporting my live videos and my business through ordering Stampin' Up! Products with me. This is my sole business. And then my affiliates, you know, I'm an affiliate for the Glassboard Studios and the Stampin' Storage, the magnet cards, and all of that to out your room like nobody's ever seen before and get very, very organized. So it's that time of evening. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Good evening.